Mm-mm-mm. Hello, everyone. Wolf Dogs Gaming. Yes. D Bills. He will get that crowd. He will get that crowd. Oh man. Oh man. After such a long stream yesterday, I woke up, looked at my phone, got in front of the, turned the camera on, got my coffee. Let's go, Tide Pod. Stevie. Awesome news. Biden beats Trump. We are looking at the cover of the New York Times. Mm. Mm. Victory. Mm. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. We'll wait a little bit. Everybody's coming in. Best news ever. Yeah, it's pretty good news. Oh yeah, we got people partying in the streets. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see what we got here. You are fired. Where was it? Let's see what let's see here. Dawn, welcome. Barbara, I'm happy too. Good to see everybody. Aw, Sticks. Well, you got at least you got a president who'll be your president, man. We we've spent 4 years without a president, so thank you. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Mm, mm. Mm. Yes, guys. Oh yeah. Where's the champagne? Where is the champagne? Jeez. Ah, man. I'm just it's just such a sigh of relief to get the call from the AP to mm, see that go up over 270. We did it. We did it. Mm. Welcome, welcome, welcome in everybody. Stevie says Trump is golfing. Man, that would not surprise me. That would not surprise me. Oof. All right, now I need to open up his YouTube page. Let's see when he's going to address his supporters in Delaware. Yes, 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 y'all. Now, will Trump give a concession speech? I don't know. I don't think so. All right, I'm just finalizing some stuff in the back end here. Thanks for your patience, guys. Hmm. Mm. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Let's see. We have okay, wow. So MSNBC has shots of people partying in Washington D.C. They are a far way from the White House because of all of the barricades and fences that have been built around the White House. Let's see if we can get some shots of. Mm, 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 mm. People dancing. Ooh, that person had on some shoes. Oh, guys, we just opened and closed the book on uh one of the darkest times in American history. And it goes back to our democracy. God love it. Donald Trump wanted to be the king. He wanted to be the tyrant. He wanted to stay in power. Oh, Donald Trump just thought he was God's gift to the world. Oh, no, Don. No, Don. Not in democracy. There we go. There we see. That is the White House up on the top left corner there. Joe Scarborough. I don't know what you guys feel about him, but hey, Sticks, man, we're just gonna have to put you in a timeout, buddy. Okay, okay, Sticks. Until you can learn to be cool. Just be cool, man. Awesome, Don. Oh, I'm so glad you got to experience that moment. That's awesome. Light at the end of the dark tunnel. Amen, Mantis. Amen. Mm-mm-mm. Awesome, guys. Wow. What a day. What a day. Oh, man. Let's see if Luis, hey, welcome back in. Oh man, you guys, I'm looking at some messages that are being hidden. Oh, these Trump supporters they are not having a good time. They are not having a good time. Yes, I'm waiting for Biden's speech too. I have his YouTube page up here, ready to go. He should be speaking from Delaware. I mean, I'm sure him and his team, they're eager to get it going. Do we think Donald Trump will call him to congratulate him on his victory? I don't think so. And what is up with with these Trump loving people who think that like soy, like eating soy products is like a like simpleton? Do you think we get offended by that, man? I don't know. I don't know, man. It's pretty funny. You guys are funny. Oh man. Oh, I couldn't when I saw the news, I couldn't wait to get on. Oh man. Wow. What a victory. What a victory. Let's see how this played out this morning. It looks like they're calling, yeah. If we go, let's throw this up here and take a look at Pennsylvania. Hmm. Yeah, so it's looking like he's up in Pennsylvania by 34,000 votes. In Philadelphia County, he, with 97% of the votes coming in, Biden 558,264 votes for a total of 80.8% of the vote. Donald Trump 126,253 for 18.3% of the vote. That's in Philly County. Huge, huge defeat. Philly, baby. Way to go. Way to represent. I don't know if you guys remember, but I've been saying that my family is from Pennsylvania. God love you, Pennsylvania. Oh, they got the champagne open. Oh, what a how awesome. How awesome. I hope everybody stays safe today and in their celebrations. Oh, it's so great. I love it. I love the champagne. Uh, uh. Mary S. Thank you, Jesus. Yvette. God is great. Audrey, let's party. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Chris Cobian, couldn't agree more. Jesse, welcome back in. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, yeah. Yes, I had. Yes, I had. Oh, guys. Ah, we saw there was a problem that needed to be fixed, and we fixed it. Fix it. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Biden beats Trump. Yes. 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 I'm really, I just, after the past few days of streaming and waiting and seeing all the results come in, and me calling this for Joe Biden like like 3 days ago. Oh, I just hmm, just it's just been awesome. It's just been awesome. All right, I'm gonna go send some tweets. If you guys want to follow me, you can right here at Brendan Plank. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. Thanks for watching, and smash the like button to support Joe Biden and the channel. Oh yeah. Oh geez, everybody on Twitter is talking about how let's go check out some tweets. Well, let's definitely check out Donald Trump's Twitter. Donald Trump is one of those people that I it would not surprise me if he just like pretends that this thing like never really happened. You know? Like he leaves the White House, he may leave in I don't know, the next couple weeks. He may not even wait until January, he may not even wait until the ceremony. And he's just like, yeah, whatever. It's all good. 2 hours ago, Donald Trump 2 hours ago, I won this election by a lot. What? Donald Trump, man. Uh, what an idiot. Donald, man. Come on, man. Come on. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Oh, buddy. Okay. Wow, so he's not going to give up. He's not going to give up, guys. Oh, this is going to be dirty. Let's see how long he Oh, let's see how long he can do this for. Like, really, Don? Wow. And he's using Breitbart links to talk about the glitch. Big press conference today in Philadelphia at Four Seasons Total Landscaping. What? What? Oh my goodness, look at all of his tweets. They're all flagged. Dunny. Dunny, what are you doing? Huh? Oh boy, he's just complaining. Oh, he's having a fit. Oh, he's breaking down. Oh boy, this is terrible. This is terrible. I think Twitter needs to just remove him. I don't think the warnings are enough. But they are doing like pretty they're seeing that, having his supporters see that's, I mean, that does do a lot. And I mean, like his supporters are like his diehard supporters seeing that, like that doesn't matter. But people who are kind of like, they voted for him, but they're like, nah, you know, kind of still on the fence, like that's pretty remarkable. If any people who are still on the fence like use Twitter, you know what I mean? Oh, Donnie. All right, you're done, Don. So I don't even care about what you think. Let's see what Joey's talking about.
You're gonna be. We did it. We did it, Joe. You're gonna be the next president of the United States. we.
How awesome is that, you guys? Kamala, like, she's on her run, her morning run. It looks like morning walk. Oh man. Oh, how great. How great is that? Oh, she just looks so happy. Mm. 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 Awesome, guys. Awesome. Wow. All right. Let's see. Let's
On that yet, but if we
hold on there. Let's see what CNN has for us.
I think those things can happen. Are there going to be fights? But yeah, there's probably going to be fights, but you will have incremental steps. And I've always said that this election in 2020 was not a big vote on ideology. This is sort of getting back to normal. The big debate will come in 2024, but that's a long way off.
Yeah.
And today's the day that Biden's been declared as president.
Well,
Queen.
What
Good
was
point.
it about
Like,
Joe Biden that made you felt he
Celine,
was the person
in.
for this moment?
Scared as hell.
Well, I've known him a long
Yeah,
time, and just a couple
feel
years
ya.
ago, he and I
understand
sat on
where
a
there's
stage.
some
He
fear.
invited me to the University of Delaware, and we had a couple hour time together speaking publicly, and spent a lot of time privately. And one of my dear friends was John McCain, who was one of his best friends, and I know what the guy's all about. And he is, when I say a throwback, I don't mean old. I mean a return to the fact that we need to communicate, we need to be patient, we don't need to demonize our opponents, figure out a way to see the best in them. That's what I did throughout my entire career, and I resonate because I know that's what Joe has done. So I think actually he's in a better position today because being pulled from the left isn't going to work. They will not get those things done, and that congresswoman from Virginia warned the Democrats. You want to talk about defunding the police, you'll have no support. And I think this is an opportunity for Biden to talk about the center right and the center left of this country and what can be achieved. Because we have enormous problems with debt,
San Diego
Social Security, Medicare, health care. Little steps. Let's see if
anybody's.
This campaign was unlike obviously any we have seen before. The turnout was unlike any we have seen before as well.
Cheering in the streets.
When did you worry that the decisions that the Biden-Harris ticket made to keep him somewhat, to keep him off the trail, to not have large crowds gathering, to not be knocking on doors for months as the other campaign was doing? Did you worry that might make it impossible for him to get elected?
Well, I felt that age was a factor, and I know there are some people who voted for Donald Trump because they were worried about Biden's age. But what I was more concerned about, Anderson, was the fact that they did not come out early and talk about the violence in the cities. They waited too long on that. They did not, in clear terms, reject, really clear terms, the defunding of the police, and very clearly say, are you kidding me? I'm an American. I don't favor socialism. If there'd have been more strength in that, I think that perhaps he would have done better. But look, he's won, and it makes all the difference in the world when they put a W behind you. But he's probably learned from this. One other thing,
I'm loving.
At some point,
I am loving all these images of people celebrating out in the streets. Oh man, that must just feel so good. That's Philly. They delivered big. They basically delivered Pennsylvania. Yep. Oh, look how happy people are in Philadelphia. Ah, I love it. Oh, man. How cool is this? History, guys. Ah, history, guys. History. And we have the first female vice president, y'all. Oh, man. History. Oh, man. Yeah, what are we dancing to? What are we doing right now? How are we celebrating? I'm just still having my coffee. I'm still kind of like waking up a little bit here. Man, it's 10 a.m. on the West Coast, but I was up late after the stream yesterday, and whew. What's the plan? What's the plan today, guys? What's the plan for the celebrations? I do want to. I'm not sure if any of you guys were around when I was live streaming the Black Lives Matter protests and the George Floyd protests, but I would, that would be awesome to go do that again, to be outside Wolf Dogs Gaming, getting drunk. Yeah, boy. There you go. Tequila for Whirlwind Saber. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Oh, man. Trevo Ferdinands. He's taking the whiskey. Man. So, I mean, it's looking like... It's looking like, let's bring up an interactive map here. Let's check and compare this to ABC has some great maps here. Actually, I do want to hear what she has to say, so let's...
He tells you something. He's telling you the truth. And I know, Rick, that you know Biden. And he can talk a lot and get on people's nerves and all the rest, and you can talk about that. But he's a man who's devoted his life to public service, and he is a man who is known as somebody who told you the truth when he was dealing with you, and that matters.
Well, he calls himself a transitional president,
right.
and the question is, will it be a transition from an era of compromise and good faith compromise, or will it be a transition from that era to an era of zero-sum politics? I totally embrace what you said, Van, but what we have seen is a penchant to weaponize our differences rather than search for common ground. Yeah. And the political rewards have been there in the parties for that. You can't, in a democracy, ever get 100% of what you want. And the question is, are you willing to take 80, or are you not going to take 80? And are you going to make the differences, exploit the differences for your own political profit? Or are you going to come together? And we'll see. That's certainly Biden believes that in the first.
It's also so, again, we've just come through a campaign where on the Democratic side, you did not see large gatherings of people. Right. Obviously, during the protests this summer, there were large gatherings of people in the streets. But to see these crowds this morning, the diversity of the crowds, a lot of mask wearing, which is certainly a good thing. Obviously, not social distancing, and over the last several days, there hasn't been, because we've had this election, but it bears repeating. We are in the midst of
this country's been a pressure cooker for the last 4 years. Donald Trump has had his hand on that dial, and this is a sense of relief there.
Totally.
And the great thing about it is, it's coming out in joy. And I use that word joy over and over again because that's like a word in the movement. The young people. There's Adrienne Marie Brown is this young kind of Instagram star who's been talking about this politics of joy. And these artists have been going out. Remember all those long lines? They're bringing the pizza. They're also bringing music. They're bringing dance, all these memes and stuff. They've created a basis of a positive culture. And so I think that that's good. And again, so you got to look for the good, look for the positive, look for the hopeful. These are hopeful. They're not out there mad. They're not out there. They're out there celebrating democracy. Let's build with those people. And the people right now who are mourning, let's make sure they know they've got to play. If you want, come out to the party. Come out to the party. This is about America. It's not about versus Trump. It's about America. Come out to the party.
I'm sure Joe Biden loves seeing this, but it wouldn't surprise me if he also told everyone, you know what, celebrate apart rather than together right now because
social distancing.
Because of the pandemic. Because of the pandemic. I think that, you know, that has been his message, and these are people who clearly want to celebrate, and they are masked, I'm seeing, but, you know, who knows? They're close together. But there is a celebration going on. Change sometimes brings that out in you, and I think.
Oh no! Unfortunately, it's raining here in San Diego.
If Donald Trump has won,
I didn't even know that. I haven't
supporters
even
will
been
probably
outside.
be celebrating
I haven't
too.
looked
I'm
outside.
not, you know, I'm not saying that this belongs
checked Twitter to see if
one
there's
side
any-
or another.
I checked Twitter to see if there's any people partying out in the streets, and the first thing I see is it's finally raining in San Diego. Damn it! Rain on my parade. All right. Wow. So, what a victory! Victory is ours. All right. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So, Pennsylvania crossed over the threshold about an hour ago, and that just put them right on top. That's what we've been, saying for the past couple of days is, look, if Pennsylvania goes, it is going for Biden. And sure enough here, let's I do want you guys to be able to see people partying in the streets and whatnot. So we're gonna do this. Boom. There we go. Sweet. Reptile Z, welcome back in. I also saw there's Tide Pod. I saw ACP. We got Luis back. Oh yeah, welcome back in, everybody. So here we go. Joe Biden picking up Pennsylvania. Now, according to this ABC map, they still haven't called North Carolina yet. Now, I don't want to move that too much. Now, let's give North Carolina to Donald. That's fine, because the results have been coming in from North Carolina, but they've been pretty stagnant. And I don't think there's really a county where they've said, okay, this is going to come in, this is going to bring like a ton of votes. Georgia, on the other hand, Biden has got the lead there, and that lead has been increasing. Arizona, see, on the other side of the map, on the West Coast, Nevada and Arizona, Biden was leading and had to hold off Donald Trump's advances, and it looks like he's going to do that. And that looks like it's going to wrap it up. I mean, it's already wrapped up, but this is going to be the complete package here. Wow. Wow, what a victory. Okay, so with this ABC map, let's go check out I wonder what the People's Pick means. People's Pick got it. That's pretty close. They didn't give Biden Georgia, but they got it. I don't know what that is, but 538 forecast. Let's see here. 538. Giving Florida to Joey. Giving North Carolina to Joey. Interesting. That's interesting. But see, 538, see, they have different shades, right? But ABC doesn't let you go. Let's see here. Now, I do want to take a look at, this is what I want to take a look at. This is Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump in 2016. Phoenix. Oh, Phoenix, welcome in. Good to see you. Beautiful morning. Jesse's in the house. Jesse, just say what's up. Hello, hello. All right, so this is our Clinton-Trump map, and this is where Joe Biden essentially rebuilt. And this is where, unfortunately, this speaks a lot to the misogyny of our country, and how, you know, Hillary Clinton was treated pretty poorly in Wisconsin and Michigan. But, you know, Joey isn't a woman, and so there you got some blue collar workers up here who they're okay with voting for Joey, and that seemed to be the turning point, because this Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, similar economies, lots of blue collar. Boom, Pennsylvania goes. Yep. Georgia goes. Arizona goes. Boom, boom, boom. Now, why wasn't that the map? Oh, man. Okay, so Joe Biden is going to be speaking at 8 p.m. And that's pretty big. What I think what I'd like to do is, I know it's raining outside, but I don't want that really to stop me. I kind of want to take my let's hang on here. I'm gonna turn on these guys, Dana Bash, Jake Tapper.
Just oppose Joe Biden's policies or try to work with him. Let's go outside the White House. President Trump, as far as we know, is still golfing. But
He is
outside
golfing.
the White House, there is quite a crowd of celebrants. Vivian Salama is in the crowd covering this for us. Vivian, tell us what you're seeing.
Hey, Jake, that's right. Outside the White House, we're about 100 feet outside the north side of the White House right now. And within seconds of CNN and other news organizations calling the race for Biden, the crowd started flowing into this area of downtown D.C. Now, for folks who are not familiar with D.C., I want to sort of paint the picture. I'm standing at the corner of H Street and 16th Street in Northwest, which was renamed Black Lives Matters Plaza. And so right behind me, you see crowds now gathering all the way down Black Lives Matters Plaza, chanting and cheering for Joe Biden. And that celebration has continued as we've been here. Folks cheering when the race was called, when some news organizations called the state of Nevada for Biden, then the chant started again. You have groups of gay rights, LGBTQ protesters and demonstrators, activists who are out here celebrating their victories. Trans people have been out here celebrating. You have a lot of women with veils, Muslims, who are coming out here as a group to celebrate this victory for Joe Biden and what it means for them sort of in this transition. Some interesting chants as well. We heard the crowd a few moments ago chanting for Stacey Abrams, celebrating the role that she has played in Georgia to help get Democrats in the forefront of this race and potentially flip that state. And so,
cool. Awesome. Oh, Phoenix, I bet that was kind of sad. Because what are these people's false prophet is done, right? He's done. He's playing golf. He's trying to get in touch with his back channel to Russia. Vladimir, man, you gotta help me out, Vlad. They're coming after me, Vlad. They're coming after me. What do I do? You gotta get me a ticket. You gotta get me a plane. Oh, man. Okay. Just awesome. All right, let's check in on. Oh yeah, they have great views of the protests. Mm. And how awesome is it that it's a Saturday, right? That it gets announced, so everybody gets to party, even our the first responders who, hopefully maybe have some time off on the weekend, um, but everybody gets to respond, even in oh man, they're all so excited. Oh man. Crucial. Amen. Does it surprise us? Can you really not believe that? Or you're just very frustrated that he's doing it? Because crucial, I believe it. You know what I mean? That guy, I don't put anything past that guy. I know, Phoenix. Yeah, I saw that. I had his Twitter up a little bit ago. Mm, wow. Celine, I think there was some. I think it was mostly the weight that we saw, after the election was because those polling centers and the secretaries of state and the commissioners of these elections in these states, they knew that Donald Trump was going to try to undermine the results. They knew that the GOP was going to come in and try to pick apart all of the votes, and so that's why we saw over the past few days places like Georgia, places like Arizona, just slowly coming out with their results. And I was kind of using the metaphor of, like, the Trumpers are not the well. Let's not insult their intelligence. They just, when you have someone who is trying to undermine what you're doing, the best way to counter that is to just be slow and methodical. And so that's why we saw in Georgia, that's why we saw in Arizona, we saw just handfuls of vote counts being released, so that every single vote was it couldn't be picked apart, right? It was, look, we have Republican and Democrat oversight inside. Here's 130 votes, right? Like, this is, we're not gonna do this kind of huge, 100,000 ballots, 100,000 vote count release. It's going to be slow and methodical. So I think, unfortunately, the day after the election, Donald Trump should have conceded. It was pretty clear that all of those absentee ballots in the key counties in Philadelphia were going to go towards Biden. It was pretty clear that Donald Trump wasn't going to be able to make up his. And that's just Pennsylvania, right? You had the same thing going on in Georgia, and you had Donald Trump not making up Joe Biden's his lead in Nevada and Arizona. And so it's just the past few days we've all been stuck in limbo. And again, it goes back, of course, it's because of Donald Trump, right? And the past 4 years we've been stuck in limbo. And I think that's really the issue, is that, like, nothing really happened under Donald Trump, right? Like, there was an assault on our justice system with the judges that he picks, and I mean, that's the GOP, right? And that's why it's so important, and that's why I'm going to do everything I can to help Georgia, those 2 senators in Georgia. But, which, by the way, if anybody knows anybody in Georgia who has like a back house, or somewhere that they want to rent out for me for a couple months until January, I'm telling you guys, I'm in it. I want to go. I want to make videos. I want to help the team, and help deliver the Senate to Joe Biden, because it's so important. It is so important we do that. And so anyway, going back to, what the past 4 years has been like, in terms of like governance, it's just nothing has been done. And we've pulled out of international treaties. We've pulled out of the Paris Climate Accord. We've damaged our relationships around the world. It's time to go to work. And we have somebody, Joe Biden, who wants to go to work. And that's refreshing, because that's what we do as Americans. That's what we do as people. Is we problem solve as we move forward. And I think a lot of the frustration from a lot of Americans is from the fact that we have so much to do. And the past 4 years of Donald Trump, not only do we have so much to do, but we had Barack Obama come in and really put his shoulder into the work that needed to be done. And watching Donald Trump and the GOP and corporate America come in and try to dismantle that and try to take away that progress by just not doing anything. They tried to go after the Affordable Care Act. That failed. They tried, and I mean that's one of the biggest things, But he tried to destroy our immigration process, which he did a lot of damage to. But we just were not moving forward, right? And the tax cuts, right? That is a huge blow to the progressive movement in the United States, because you have the top 1% of the 1% just making ridiculous amounts of money and evading taxes, and corporations evading taxes, and we have our schools underfunded. We have our police is a mess, because we put so much, we give them so much responsibility, and that needs to, again, like, we need to be rethinking our police, right? And if we, with all these, see, the thing, and what I'm interested in seeing is how Black Lives Matter and how the George Floyd protests, and how, because look, this isn't going to be the last time that someone is killed, a Black man is killed by a white police officer. That is going to happen under Joe Biden's administration. And so it's going to be fascinating to see what those protests, how the events unfold with Joe Biden. I think a lot of what we saw was Donald Trump just not giving, really not giving a damn, really, about these protesters. And we had Barack Obama trying to understand the protesters during his administration, trying to understand the police. I think we'll get, a similar message, but it's still like, again, guys, there's still so much work that needs to happen. And so, not to take away from what this is right now, because this is awesome, right? I'm just, I like, let's party. Let's party today, and then like, let's go to work, and let's build coalitions, and let's try to get those 2 senators in Georgia into the Senate. Let's try to turn those Senate seats blue, because again, without the Senate, like, there's nothing. Well, not nothing, but it's gonna be a tough road ahead, because the whole idea that, like, the GOP is just gonna come together and unite around Joe Biden is like a little ridiculous for anybody who's been watching the Republican Party for the past 12 years. That's just, that is a fairy tale, that is a fantasy that will not play out. So Yeah, what I really want to do is, man, I want to be out in these parties. Woo. Oh man, check out this photo, guys. That's like the saddest photo. Aw. Donald. That's him this morning. Oh man. Oh, Donnie. You sad, pathetic creature.
Biden, I'm sorry.
Wow, do we
And
have
so many steely shoulders of women who just
Donna
didn't
Brazile.
care what they were called, how they looked, but they went out there and
Donna
they kept
Brazile.
moving the ball. We did it. And we did it because there were so many men who also believed in us, who carried us forward, who didn't mind that we sat next to them. And I am just a grateful woman this morning, a grateful American, that I can go to my grave one day and say, God, we got the first Black man, we got the first woman of Asian descent. We have made this country what it said it would always be, a country for all of us. And indeed, it is a country for all of us. But this is a country that now has to get back to work. So I'm going to dry my tears and get ready to work.
Donna, we're all moved by how moved you are. And it is always such a significant moment when we watch these milestones be breached. And it also is a time when we can bring people together. There has been such an extraordinary division in this country. And I want to know what your thoughts are. What would your advice be to this Biden team and Kamala Harris, Biden and Harris team going forward? How do they reach across to a lot of people in this country who are going to feel the opposite of what many are feeling today in the streets?
You know, when President Trump was elected 4 years ago, I happened to be in the ballroom during the Clinton
Wolf Dogs. Let it out,
campaign.
man.
I was chair of the party. And I had to walk down the streets of New York with people celebrating. And I said, I understand how it feels. I've been there. So let us have this celebration, but we got to get together. We got to work together. You know, to solve the problems of this country, we need solutions that fit everyone, not blue states, red states. This is a moment for us to find those solutions. This country is pleading for us. And I say us because I consider myself to be one of the leaders of the party. But it is pleading for us to come together to fix these problems, to solve some of those problems, to make sure that we can get this virus under control. So, Martha, I'm going to be that person inside the Democratic Party that says there are friends on that other side that cares about this country like us. There are people who voted for you. There are people who care. They don't want partisan solutions. They want solutions. And yes, we can do it together. That's the person I'm going to be tomorrow. But tonight I'm going to celebrate. Chris Christie, my friend, sent me something very special. And I'm going to take it home as soon as my power is back on. They're fixing the utility poles here on the daylight today. But I'm going to make sure it's really cold, and I'm going to drink it, Chris Christie. So thank you, brother.
Enjoy it.
If I know
to
you,
you,
there's a gumbo that'll be
good.
made up,
That's
and
good.
you'll be having a good old time tonight.
I intend to cook up a gumbo, but I'm also going to write a letter, an open letter to many of the Trump supporters. I hear you. I hear you. I've been part of the Fox family. I hear you. I understand many of your worries and your concerns. You are not going to be left out of this. There are so many of our fellow citizens who live on the outskirts of hope, and we got to bring them into the circle of opportunity. They voted for Donald Trump 4 years ago because they want that opportunity available to them. And if we don't hear them, they're going to spank us and kick us out in 2 or 4 years. And I don't want to be kicked out again. I want to keep this door open. And so we're going to listen to everybody. And I think that's the spirit you'll hear tonight from Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Well, Donna, we appreciate you being on the team. We appreciate your emotion and sharing that with us today. And we'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Donna.
Peter
Bless you
Doocy
all.
is live now in Wilmington, Delaware. Peter?
And the area where we are has a humongous Secret Service presence. Not a ton of places to park, but as close as people can get. There are about 150 folks, as many as we've seen here at any time, whether it's this week or during the DNC that was also hosted in this location. They're holding up Biden and Harris signs. They've got some blue balloons, and they are chanting, hey, nah, 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 hey, hey, goodbye, over and over again. So about 150 as best as we can see. We are also now told that
unwavering race from the very beginning. There were no, tonal shifts or strategic shifts from Biden, right? Once he got that big boost from Jim Clyburn heading into the South Carolina primary and ran off with it, and then ran off with the rest of the primary season. He said the way he was going to approach the general election was to win back the upper Midwest. He won back the upper Midwest, and now we'll see what else he gets as gravy. But he knows who he is. He knows that we all know who he is, and he knew how to run this race. I mean, hats off.
Rachel, I want to just discuss one other very important woman in the Biden campaign, and that is Jen O'Malley Dillon, who has now entered the Hall of Fame of American politics, and she's the least famous person in it because I think very few people know who she is. She's the campaign manager of Joe Biden's campaign, and people don't know who she is because she refuses to do television interviews with people like us. She's not in it for the glory. She's a mother of three who has been running what all professional observers have called a flawless campaign for president for Joe Biden. And she has been doing it in a way that never asked for attention to herself. And again, this in itself is one of those giant stories that lives underneath the much bigger story of the Biden victory.
Yeah, it's a very, very good point. And I will say that one of my favorite things about Jen O'Malley Dillon and her leadership on the Biden campaign is that she did not care at all whatever the prevailing narrative was in mainstream media, on cable news, on Twitter, among extremely online Democratic activists. She was never addressing any of those sideline conversations. She was never trying to be part of it. She was never trying to be a character in any of those discussions. She was always absolutely focused on what the Biden campaign was trying to do and how they were trying to do it. And so when people started talking, both on cable news and in some of those other streams that I was discussing, about how Biden was running off with it and Trump was going to be subjected to a Barry Goldwater style loss, and it was going to be what did Jen O'Malley Dillon very quietly say? Very quietly via Twitter, which has its own megaphone, but very quietly said, actually, we believe this is going to be a very close race. We think this is going to be much closer than people on this website, meaning Twitter, think it's going to be. And we're going to need everything we can pull out of the deck in order to do this. And she was, I don't know that calm is the right word. It was focused and unswayed by the ambient discussion. That's exactly what you want in a campaign manager. And, it may be that was small C conservative and that Biden's win may not end up being that small. But I was somebody, I'll be honest, who thought that Trump was going to get reelected. And I felt like the only person that I was hearing anything from in that tiny voice that she was putting out there, not in the mainstream media, the only person who I felt like was taking Biden's risk of losing as seriously as I was, was Biden's campaign manager. And I think if you're Biden, that's what you want.
Well, Rachel, I made the decision early to believe Jen O'Malley Dillon pretty much all the way through, and especially this week on Wednesday when she had a conference call that explained exactly the way she saw the rest of the states that were uncalled at that time, and what she saw as the inevitable Biden win. That was the decision point for me of what was really happening here and what was going to happen here. And Rachel, take a look forward on I think it's 73 days or so between now.
Just real quick, guys, it looks like Axios is reporting that Biden to announce COVID-19 task force on Monday. It sounds like he's going to put, that's the first thing coming out of the Trump campaign, Trump presidency now, is that he is going to be announcing on Monday a 12-member task force team. I can't imagine Dr. Birx and Fauci not being a part of that. But Scott Atlas, who Donald Trump brought in to, I think he's a neuroradiologist with hardly any background, if any background, in epidemiology, in infectious disease. Scott Atlas brought in by Donald Trump to essentially say, those masks, the science is still out of the masks, and the economic shutdowns, people turn to drugs and alcohol and suicide with those too. So, people die there too. People die with that strategy of dealing with the disease as well. Scott Atlas, I can guarantee you, will not be on that 12-member task force. That guy actually needs to be investigated as to what his role, what he was told, kind of how the past couple months has gone down. But it says here, we don't have any names, but the idea that Donald Trump will no longer have any responsibility with dealing with this pandemic is very refreshing. And the idea that Joe Biden is putting together a task force, well, he's acting quick, and that's what we need: decisive, bold action from Joe Biden. So that is some fantastic news that we're getting from Axios on a great day. Let's check back in with Lawrence O'Donnell, see what he has to say.
Work if for some reason Donald Trump was saying, he wasn't going to leave the White House. One of the most important things that happened this week was, and I think it was as early as Wednesday or Wednesday night, when the Secret Service made the decision to send an extra security detail to Wilmington, Delaware. That is the president-elect security detail. They decided days ago that Joe Biden was the president-elect, and they were adding to his Secret Service detail. He already had two. He already had the former vice president's Secret Service detail. Added to that was the Democratic nominee's Secret Service.
Like Lawrence's mic's getting cut.
Lawrence, I don't know if you can still hear me, but I have lost audio connection to you. Uh-oh. Is this the wonders of the internet?
Welcome to the live broadcast, MSNBC, where anything can go wrong.
When pain wears you down,
like, we're just going to commercial.
And new Icy Hot Dry Spray delivers. Feel it working instantly, providing powerful relief to muscles and icy to dull, hot to relax. New Icy Hot Dry Spray.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts.
All right.
He got somewhat close, but obviously it was not enough. I do think that, that there is a choice facing Republicans now about what you're saying, which is, is that message a ham-handed message, or is it the best we've got?
Yeah.
I don't know that they fully settled on what the answer to that is.
I think if you give truth serum to Republican elected leaders, most of them, they will say it's not the best they've got. that it's maybe the opposite of the best they've got on that. One thing I want to say, just going back to
Phoenix,
the whole...
what do you think about this? And that's a great question. Could Joe be Aviator? Aviator and Kamala. She does go by Mamala, but I don't know if the Secret Service would be comfortable calling her that. She's got to have more of a badass name, like Thunderboom. Thunderboom. Or the Hammer. Obama's was Renegade, right? Was he renegade? I can't remember what Michelle Obama's was. Yeah, Obama was renegade. And Michelle Obama was Renaissance. Ooh, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, so here, let's go back. And this is, Wikipedia actually has a whole page on presidents and what they were called. Donald Trump was called Mogul. Gross. Melania, Muse. Donald Trump Jr., Mountaineer. Ivanka Trump, Marvel. Eric Trump, Marksman. Weird. Jared Kushner, Mechanic. Okay. Okay, guys. Huh. George W. Bush was Tumbler and Trailblazer. Bill Clinton, the Eagle. George W. Bush, Timberwolf. Let's see. What was Mike Pence's Hoosier? Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, Joe Biden was Celtic. Huh. Interesting. Wonder if they'd keep that. Cool. Great question, Phoenix.
To vote for Joe Biden so that Minnesota would not be in play as people thought it would be several months ago. AOC is one of the stars of the Democratic Party, period. And when I had her on State of the Union before the election, she was more disciplined and able than almost any politician I'd interviewed in the previous few months.
Important interview.
In terms of her acknowledgement of where she disagreed with Joe Biden on
Phoenix,
issues
Dr.
like the,
Joe would
like
be
the Green
like
New Deal, et cetera. And also,
or
the
professor,
the fact that Joe Biden was, in her view, the absolute only choice.
Yeah, she would
so
say
I don't want to.
She said she wanted the privilege of having to worry about.
Yes, exactly.
To
lobby him is what she
the privilege
termed
to
it.
lobby him.
So nobody nobody should. Oh, look at this huge turnout in Washington D.C. outside the White House. Just people celebrating Joe Biden's victory. A lot of relieved people, a lot of happy people, a lot of anti-Trump people, a lot of pro-Biden people. Biden-Harris count the votes, you see.
And luckily, a lot of masks.
And a lot of masks. We're seeing a lot of masks, which is good, although the crowds, according to public health officials, not so good. But
correct.
The masks.
No, that guy just opened a bottle of champagne.
In any case, what I was going to say is
everybody's
nobody
opening
should,
champagne.
Treat the progressives as if they're a pain, because they are a vital part of the Democratic coalition, period.
Correct.
But that said, there is a reckoning going on, because some of the things that were said, especially when it comes to defunding the police, there are more moderate Democrats that think that it made their coalition, their majority, smaller. And look, this is Minneapolis. They are social distancing while celebrating in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So that's what's going to happen. There's going to be some fighting about this stuff in the Democratic caucus, we heard some warning shots from Congressman Clyburn just then.
And just on what you were talking about Ilhan Omar, even though she didn't have a real race, that she was knocking on doors. Pramila Jayapal, the co-chair of the Progressive Caucus, she represents Washington. She didn't have a real race, and yet she is part of an organization. She has an organization where they go out and they train people to knock on doors in battleground states all over. That is a very, very vital part of the progressive movement that we were just talking about, that allowed this moment to happen, that fueled this moment.
We have more people coming in. That's awesome. That's great.
Senator Mitt Romney, who ran for president and lost to Barack Obama and Joe Biden in 2012, just tweeted, Ann and I extend our congratulations to President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris.
Okay, cool. Mitt Romney's tweeting. It's becoming more and more official. You have it's going to be funny to see over the next 24 hours how the people who have been waiting for Donald Trump to lose this election, they are going to be first in line to congratulate Joe Biden. And then we're going to see, the Republicans in Congress and the Senate, they'll eventually start to, congratulations, Joe, whatever. But it's interesting seeing Mitt Romney come out right away, tweeting. Let's see here. Okay, let's listen to
who they are. They are exactly what our country needs now. We need competence. We need decency. We need honesty. And we need to come together. And that's what they represent. I know this is a painful moment for many who wish for a different outcome. I'm living in a household with some of them. But at this moment, I believe that we have an extraordinary opportunity to move this country forward, to reclaim our leadership in the world, and to address so many of the fundamental challenges we face, from COVID to the economy, to education, to health care, to racial
ACP,
justice,
good question, man. I'm
and
trying to
climate
keep this
change.
thing,
And this is the moment we have to do so, and we have to heal in the process.
I want to ask you about your son is a somewhat notable conservative figure in the country, and I want to ask you about his disappointment in a second. But I do also want to first ask you, if you don't mind, as a black woman, we now have a black woman vice president-elect. It has never happened in the history of this country, and I'm just wondering if you could. I know you prefer to talk policy and you prefer to talk politics, but and national security. But I'm just wondering if you'll indulge me and our viewers, as a black woman, what does this moment mean to you?
It's amazing. It's amazing. It brings tears to my eyes and joy to my heart. And my, almost 18-year-old daughter that feels thrilled. I know there are young girls, and I hope young boys all over this country who see themselves in her and the opportunity for them to be who they want to be. I could not be more proud of Kamala Harris and all that she represents for all of us. This is it's a historic, groundbreaking moment.
It's obviously a very emotional moment for tens of millions of Americans, especially those who before today had never seen someone like them, a woman of color, represented in a president or vice president. And we should acknowledge that that this is a moment of great joy and celebration. As for the
celebration.
Yeah, in terms of the experiment of America and the promise of America, what can happen here. Joe Biden is expected to give his first speech this evening as president-elect. You're someone in a household where I know you a little bit, and I know your family a little bit, and there are Trump supporters in your family and Biden supporters in your family. What does Joe Biden need to say to start unifying the country?
Well, I must say, not just for my son, but others in my family and universe who have different political views. I'm really proud of my son today. He's an American first, like I am. He believes in this country, and he also wants to see us move forward in unity, as disappointed as he may be. And we are family first and always will be. And this is a moment where we all need to look to the future and heal. And I believe that's what he believes as well. So we're together today. We're one household, and we're one country. And we got to remember that just as in a family, in a country, we have so much more in common than that which divides us. And we've got to find that fundamental truth together as to who we are and what we can be. We can't survive divided. We can only be strong and safe and prosperous if we come together. And this is a moment where, on a very personal level and on a national level, even on a global level, we have to recognize and embrace that reality.
The space for celebration, there is some risk to it because President Trump has not conceded, and obviously we want to give him time to process the information coming his way, fast and furious.
Which might take
but he's
a long
also
time.
out there claiming once again that he actually won the election. He's making all sorts of false allegations about massive voter fraud. There's no evidence of that anywhere.
Mr. Pador, Phoenix is a long time.
How should Vice President, or rather, I'm sorry, how should President-elect Joe Biden deal with this? And do you have concerns about whether or not there will be a peaceful transition of power?
I think it's hard not to have some degree of concern, but I believe that this country is strong and resilient and that our institutions have shown up for this moment. Jake, if you'd asked me a week ago, 2 weeks ago, would our state and local officials, would our courts, would our people continue to have patience and faith in our process? How confident of that was I? I was confident, but I wasn't super confident. And today we can look at all of those and say, my goodness. And I have to say the media too. The media played this responsibly. And so all of our institutions have held. Now, Donald Trump has a choice to make. He can stand up and be part of our democracy, our historic tradition. He can be a responsible leader to hand off power. I know there are many reasons to doubt that, and I can't say I'm particularly optimistic, but the best thing he could do for himself, for his party, and for our country is to act like a president of the United States now at this late stage. So I hope he will. But if he doesn't, quite frankly, the nation, the institutions, the world, we're moving on. There will be a transition. Joe Biden will be the next president of the United States come January 20th. And he and Kamala Harris will be prepared to lead a team to govern this country again with competence and integrity. So it is going to be okay. It may be, a rough next couple of months if Donald Trump chooses to make it that way. That would be unfortunate for his legacy. It'd be unfortunate for the country. But we will get through this. And when we come out the other end, it will be a better day, and a day when finally government is turned to serve the American people and our many, many needs, rather than anybody's personal interests.
Dr. Rice, you were on the short list.
What
Joe
I
Biden
need
was
to do
considering
is-
asking you to serve as his vice president.
What I want to do is I want to go outside and I want to take this to the streets and talk to people and see how they're feeling. So I am going to we got 140 people in here. Awesome. Great, guys. Welcome into the stream. That's the most we've had on the stream today. I am going to I'm going to shut this stream down, and then I'm going to load up my my iPhone. I have a gimbal that I can take out, and I'm going to go talk to people and see how they're feeling from a nice social distance. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, just click the subscribe button real quick, and then in a matter of, I don't know, it could be half an hour, I will be back, and we will be walking the streets and seeing what people are doing. It's supposed to be raining out there, but yeah, we're gonna go outside. Awesome, Phoenix. I'm glad you're stoked. Yeah, cool. All right, guys. Wolf's getting drunk. Cool. Change the locks on the White House. Absolutely. Lexi Ray. Come on now. There's Stevie. Hey, Stevie, welcome. Thank you. Catalyst, welcome back in. There we go. All right, guys. I will. I'm gonna get some food, and then yeah, we're taking this thing to the streets. Let's do it.